Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to this training of SharePoint. So in this training, we're going to go and learn SharePoint step by step in 8 hours. So in 8 hours, we're going to go and understand SharePoint, create some application, and try to see that how SharePoint is useful in the business world. So before I start with anything, let us first try to define what exactly is SharePoint and what is the need of SharePoint. The name SharePoint itself says a lot of things. If you see this name SharePoint, it is not a one-letter word, it's a two-letter word. SharePoint. So let me put a definition around it, and this two-letter word, you can see that how it fits into the definition. So SharePoint is a web application software which helps you to share data from a central point. Again, I repeat, SharePoint is a web application software which helps you to share and collaborate data from a central point. Now this data, what is shared between different stakeholders, can be of various types. It can be a document, it can be a web page, it can be a wiki. So it can the data can be of different types. What I will do is, in the further coming lectures, I will not use this word data, I will use the word content, because content makes it more generalized, right? So basically this content which is shared from this central point can be of various types. It can be a document, a page, a video, an image, etc. Now, SharePoint comes in two major flavors. One is on-premise and the other one is Office 365 or cloud. On-premise means that you take the full responsibility of installing the software, of installing the operating system, of maintaining it, doing backups, providing the hardware. So it is your traditional way, how you install softwares in your computer. So on-premise means that SharePoint is inside your office premise or inside your control. You have provided the hardware, you have provided the operating system, there is an IT person who looks after it. So that is termed as on-premise. And the second way to get SharePoint is Office 365. So what is Office 365? Office 365 is a subscription-based program provided by Microsoft. If you see Microsoft is a software-based company. So their main income comes from software. I do understand that, they have done some hardware-based things like, Windows Phone, etc. But said and done, their major profit actually comes from softwares. They come from operating system, from MS Office, CRM, SharePoint, etc. Right? So what they have done is, they have created a cloud platform called as Office 365, where they have put all their Office products, all their softwares, they have put it on cloud. Now we end users can go and buy these products by using a monthly subscription. Think about it. In on-premise, I have to buy the whole license. I like it or I don't like it, right? And it's a huge upfront money which I have to spend. Definitely, the good point is that, when you buy the complete software, you don't have to pay anything more than that, right? And second thing is, you have complete control over it. But a lot of times what happens is, okay, you are doing, let us say, SharePoint 2013 today, and tomorrow if 2016 comes up, then you again have to buy, right? And second is, I do not have an option in on-premise to say that, okay, now I don't like this software, I want my money back. It is not possible, right? So this Office 365, does full justice to end users like us. Basically, you go and you don't have to pay upfront fees, right? You just pay the monthly subscription, and then you can start using it. And when you do not like it, or if you have issues, you can stop paying it, and that's it, right? So Office 365 is a subscription-based approach where they have put all their Office products, which also includes SharePoint. So you can go and buy the monthly subscription and get access to SharePoint. So in other words, if you want to learn SharePoint, then there are two things. One is we have Office 365, and second is we have this on-premise SharePoint. Now I assume that people who are coming to this lesson of SharePoint, they want to learn SharePoint as soon as possible. They want to start right away in the coming 10-15 minutes. So if we go the route of on-premise, it will take a lot of time, because you need a proper machine, you need the Windows Server software, you need SQL Server, you need IIS configured, you need then SharePoint configured and web farm and so on, right? So definitely, our major time, rather than learning, we will spend in installation. But if we start with Office 365, I think it will hardly take 10-15 minutes to register and start right away, right? The second thing probably what would come into your mind is that, you said that we have to pay for Office 365. So to learn SharePoint, do I have to pay right away? You don't have to. What you can do is you can go to Google and you can search for Office 365 trial, right? And you can see that there is a link here saying register for an Office 365 trial. So if you click on this, you come to this sign up page, which you need to fill, right? It asks for a lot of details. So go and fill it properly with your proper mobile number. And once you do that, you get access to a 30-day trial of Office 365. So once you go and fill this form, you get such kind of a mail saying that, welcome to Office 365, and then you can go and access your Office 365 from here, right? So what we will do is we will go and we will use this Office 365 trial to learn SharePoint. In the later coming lectures, I will definitely touch on-premise, because on-premise and Office 365, they have differences, right, in terms of what you can access and what not. But if you want to learn SharePoint right away in 10-15 minutes, then I find this option as the best option. So let us first do like this. Let us not waste time in installation and getting the software and doing a lot of things. Let us just register to this Office 365 portal and let us access SharePoint and let us start learning the basics. And as time goes by, we will also learn about on-premise as well. So once you get the credentials, what you can do is you can go to portal.office.com and you can log in with the credential. And you can see at the right hand side, it says that I am in a trial version. In case you have done a purchase, then this purchase will be highlighted. So the time you log in to portal.office.com, you can see that you have now access to so many MS Office softwares like Excel, Word, PowerPoint, OneNote, etc. right? But our goal is to learn SharePoint. So you can see that there is an admin icon over here. So let us first go to admin. So let us go and click on admin. Now the time you click on admin, you come to this site here. From here you can go and administrate your complete Office 365. Now for SharePoint, you can see that down below we have an admin link and there is a SharePoint link over here. So this is the place from where you will go to SharePoint admin. Okay, so let us click on this and let us go to SharePoint admin. So you can see that he is taking me to the site where my SharePoint admin is configured. You can see that I had registered myself as SharePoint learner. So you can see that it has named the domain as subdomain as SharePoint learner-admin.sharepoint.com, right? So you can see now that I have access to SharePoint administration here and I am all set, right? So this indicates that you have access to SharePoint and you are all ready to learn SharePoint. So as we have said previously that SharePoint is nothing but it is a portal, it is a web application which helps you to share content and collaborate these content between different stakeholders. Now these different stakeholders, right, can come from various departments. For example, let us say that you want to use SharePoint for organization. So if you look at organization, it can have various departments like accounts, HR, sales, and so on, right? So each one of these departments, probably you would like to go and create different websites. But at the end of the day, all of these websites should belong to the company. So they will actually come into the main site of the organization, right? So in other words, you want that SharePoint should also support such kind of a hierarchy so that, this content management can work in a much better way. So in other words, I would like to have a hierarchy where I have a site collection at the top, and then inside the site collections, I can have different website, one for HR, one for accounts, one for sales, and so on. So the first logical step in SharePoint is that you need to go and create something called as a site collection. Right, so I'm going to go and create a site collection from the admin panel. Now remember that SharePoint has two sections. One is the site what you want to create for your organization, for that entity, and second is the admin panel. So the admin panel is a different entity, and your website what you create from this admin panel is a different entity. Okay, so I'm going to go and create a site collection. So you can see that I clicked on new and I said site collection. So let us give a name here. So I'll say this is my company. So this is my company's website. So I've just given a name here saying my company. Now you can see that we have two things. One is we have a site collection called as my company, inside which we will have the HR department, we will have accounts and sales and so on. And at the top you can see we have something called as website. So remember that we have a website. Inside the website we have site collections, and after that we have subsites like HR, accounts, and so on. And you can see that we have something called as a template here. Now what happens is every site collection we create, at the end of the day it has a theme. It has a specific purpose. For example, is this site created for blogging? Is this created for community? Is this created for wiki? So what is the goal of this portal or this website, right? So basically, because when you say that you want to go and share content, that share content again is in a certain theme, right? So you need to go and select a template and say that what is the goal of this portal or this website. Now you can see lots of templates over here. You can see there is something called as team site. This team site is meant to work is meant for people who want to collaborate. Then you have a blog, where a person wants to go and put articles and so on. Now what we will do is we are going to go and select the developer site. Now you must be wondering that why a developer site and why not some other template. Now I would like to make aware everyone here that this tutorial is a developer track. When you talk about SharePoint, SharePoint can be used by end users. So there are simple end users who come and who use SharePoint. Then it can be used by people who are administrators. So there are some group of people who are administrators, who do backup, who do daily activity of SharePoint. And the final one who are there are developers, who will create a MVC application, host it inside SharePoint, and do customization and so on. So this track is a developer's track. So in case you are an administrator or in case you are an end user, then this track is not meant for you. So that's why I'm going to go and select this developer site, because I'm going to go and host office applications, etc. inside this. So I'm going to go and select this one. After that, you have to go and specify the administrator of the site. Now remember that all this thing is happening on the cloud, right? It is happening on the office portal. So these end users will actually come from the online Windows AD. So you can see that in the office portal, you can go and you can create a user over here. You can see this, right? So I've created a simple user here called as admin, right? So go to the admin portal of Office 365 and you can go and create a user the way I have done, admin. So I'm going to go and say admin. What happened? Admin, administrator, not sure. Administrator. Let us see. Strange. I do have a user here called as admin. and he is active as well. Let me see. Admin, is it? Okay. I think something I typed wrong. Okay, so there it is. So you can see that this administrator is now allocated to this site here, that is my company, and I will give a storage quota of 1 GB at this moment. Right, and I will say okay. Right. So once I do okay, it will go and it will create a site collection for me called as my company. You can see now, this site collection is getting created. You can see this green sign over here indicating that the site collection is getting created. So we will wait for some time until this site collection gets created. So the first step, in SharePoint is that you need to go and create a site collection. So select a template, like I have done that. I have selected the developer template, give the administrator user of the site, and you should be ready with a site collection. So you can see that it is still getting created. We'll wait for some time. Now you can see that there my site is created. So let us try to browse the site. You can see that when I try to browse the site, it gives me saying that you need permission to access this site. So what has happened? Let us understand. If you remember, to this site we have given the admin access. And if you see over here at the right hand side, I have logged in with the account Sukesh Marla, right? So in other words, my login here is different and the admin whom I have assigned here is different, right? So let me go and assign more administrators over here. So I'm going to go and assign a secondary administrator here, Sukesh, right? So I'll say okay, and once it goes and applies this new user, so you can see I have said okay, and you can see that he's again processing. So once this is done, then I should be able to browse the company website. Let us see. It is processing. So there it is. So let us click and let us see that if we can now browse the site. So you can see that now I'm able to browse the site. So you can see the way the site is at this moment. It is step-by-step-schools.sharepoint.com/sites/my company. So this my company here is nothing but it is my site collection, and inside this site I'm going to go and have a lot of websites. Okay, so at this moment you can see that it has opened the site for me, and there are some default things. We will see that how to go and change them. So let me congratulate you that you have created your site collection, and now the next thing is we need to go and start customizing this site, right? Now one very important thing to note here is that remember this my company, what we have created is a site collection. So this my company here is a site collection, right? So inside the site collection we said that we are going to have a lot of subsites. So we will create those subsites later on. But first, let us try to understand the navigation part of SharePoint, because if you do not understand the navigation part of SharePoint, you would get really confused. Okay. The first very important menu of SharePoint, or probably the most visited menu of SharePoint by admins as well as developers, is this settings over here. So always remember that when you are logged in as admin, you will always see this settings menu over here. Okay. So let us click on the settings menu and let us say edit page. When you say edit page, when you click on edit page, it actually goes and edits this complete page here. You can see that now I can go and edit this complete page and change a lot of content about this page. So first thing is, these icons here don't make any sense. So I'm going to go and remove this web part. Remember these things over here, what you see, these small sections here are web part. We will later see that how to go and create your own custom web part. So I will go and delete this. I don't want it. I don't want this web part as well, right? So here I just want a simple text introduction here. So I will say welcome to my company portal. This portal will help company employees to collaborate, right? And yes, you can always go and make these things bold and underline and whatnot, right? So remember that whatever you see on the browser of SharePoint is nothing but it's a page, and that page you can go and click on the settings menu and say edit. So you can see that I have edited this page, I have made some changes here, and then I will go and say save here. So I'm going to go and say save. And you can see that now I have removed a lot of unnecessary icons, and I can see only a simple text here which describes my company portal. You can see at the left hand side also I see a lot of links over here. So all of these links really don't matter at this moment. So let me go and delete some of these links which are unnecessary, right? So I'm going to go and delete some of these links. I've just kept the home link at this moment, and we will see what other links to put over here at the left hand side. So you can see that what I've done is I have gone ahead and I have removed all the unnecessary links and all the unnecessary web part, and I'm just trying to create a very simple company portal which will help my company people to collaborate. So now we have one page here which is the home page, right? Let us go and create one more page here called as the About Us page. Okay, so again let us click on the settings here, and you can see this menu here saying add a page. So let me go and add a page here, and I will name this page as About Us. And in this page, we will talk about the company. So this page contains what the company does, right? So this is our About Us page, and let us go and save this. So you can see at the right hand side I have the save button. I will go and save this. So that is my URL for About Us page. Okay, now when I am on my home page, I would like to have here the link of About Us, right? So what I've done is I have copied the About Us page, right? So I can go here and say edit links, and I can go and add a link here saying that this is About Us and this is the address, and I will say okay, save. Nice. So you can see I have my company page here. This company page has a home page, it has a About Us page, right? And it is looking nice. So basically what we have now, at the top we have a site collection called as My Company. Inside this My Company I have two pages. One is the About Us page and the other one is the home page. So now if this is our main company portal, or I will say rather this is our main site collection, then inside this main site collection or company portal, I want to go and create two sites, or I will say subsites. One is for the HR department and the other one is for the accounts department. So in order to create subsites into this site, again let us go and click on settings, and inside this you can see that we have something called as site contents. Okay, so let us go to the site contents. Now remember, as I've said previously, everything what you add in your SharePoint, right from page to subsite, is a content. So everything is a content. What you share across to everyone is a content, right? So let us go to site content and let us go and add two subsites. You can see that we have different types of contents like documents and site pages and so on, but we want to go and create a subsite. You can see this link here saying new subsite. So I will go and click on this new subsite. So let us say that this is for the HR department. So this subsite is for HR. So the subsite will be /mycompany/HR, right? And what I will do is I will say that this is a team site, okay? And Why team site? Because I want my HR team to collaborate via this subsite. And I will say use the same permission as my parent site at this moment. And let us go and create it. So I've clicked on create. It is creating. Slow. Okay, so there it is. So you can see now I have a subsite here called as my company /HR. And again for this subsite, you can see that he has his own page and everything, right? So let me again go to edit links here and let me delete all the links. I will just keep the home page at this moment. I will just keep the home link, save it. Also, let me go and edit this HR content. So I will say edit. And I will remove this web part. I'll remove all the web parts at this moment. Let us just make a very simple home page. Delete. Remember, I am now editing the subsite. I'm editing the home page of the subsite of HR, right? So in this, what I will do is I will just go and say that this is for HR department, right? And I will save this. In the same way, let me go and create one more subsite for accounts. So you can see that there is a HR here, right? So that is my HR site. So if I go directly to my company, that is my home site, I would see my company here. You can see now, I can see this is my company's main portal. And you can see at the top he has put HR. So when I click on this HR, I actually land up to the HR's website. Also, what I would like to do is, from the HR website, I would like to go and navigate back to my company, right? So what I will do is I will go and copy this URL, and in the HR, I will just go and put one more link here called as home, so that anytime I want to go and browse back to my page, so I will add a link. I will say this is home. Save. So you can see over here now I can go to home any moment of time I want. So when I click on home, I actually go back to my site collection, and whenever I want to go to HR, I can go back to the HR site, right? So you can see that I have created the basic navigation. In the same way, let us go and create accounts. So again, let us go and click on site contents. Let us create a subsite, right? And this subsite, let us name it as accounts. So this is for accounts department, accounts. Let it be a team site, everything same, create. So let me repeat the same process, what I've repeated for the HR, right? So now you can see that I have done the same exercise for the account section as well. So you can see that there is an account subsite, and this account subsite, again, I have created a very simple home page, and in that I have said this is accounts department, and also I have provided a navigation back to the main site collection, right? So I have my company, which is a main site collection, and then I have HR and accounts inside it. Now let us say that as soon as my employee comes to my main site, that is in to my company, I would like to go and provide him list of holidays. So I want to provide him list of holidays, what are available in the company, right? So for that, I need to go and add a content which is of a type, where I can add rows and columns, right? So in other words, if you say you want to display a list, right, of holidays, that means you need to have some way, where you can go and add a column, 2 columns, holiday name and the date of the holiday, right? So for that, we have a very special content type. Again, go to site contents. Remember, every time you want to add a content, the first thing is go to site settings and go to site content, right? So I will go to site content, and I'm going to go and add an app. Everything what you add, to your to your site over here is an app. So I'm going to go and add an app, and the app is a type of a list. A list means basically, I want to create a data which is of a spreadsheet type where I have columns and rows, right? So I'm going to go and add a custom list over here, and I will say this is holidays, and I will say create, right? So you can see that holidays is now displayed over here. So you can see that this is the holiday list. Now by default, if you see this holiday list is just having a title, right? So let us go and customize this list. So I'm going to go and customize this list, right? So I will go and change this title first thing. So let me go and rename this column. I'll say this is not title, this is holiday name, right? I want to add a date and time. You can see again columns are of different types, right? So I'll say that this is a holiday date, right? Stop editing this list. So you can see now on my main company site, I have a list which is added here called as holidays, right? Okay. And in that now I can go and add a holiday name and a holiday date, right? So I can go and start adding data here. So I'll say new item. Remember, we have columns and rows in the list, and whenever you want to go and add a new row, that row is termed as an item in a list. So I'm going to go and add a new item here. So I'll say, okay, holiday name is, let us say, Christmas, which is actually 25th December, right? Tick, 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 tick. Okay. Oh, okay. 25th December, and I will save this, right? So in this way, I can go and add lots of holidays, to this list here, right? Right. And now you can see over here on my home page, I have home, I have about us, and you can see there is something called as recent. This recent says that which are the contents which I visited, right? But at this moment, I want to display this holidays over here just below about us, right? In the recent thing is the recent item which I have visited. But now let us say when somebody comes to my site, he won't see this holidays list, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and take this list of holidays. I'm going to go and copy this, and I will go and edit a link. I will add a link here saying holidays. And I will save this. So you can see now, let us delete this recent link, not needed, right? Save it. Remember that recent link is given by SharePoint. Okay. So this one I have created, for the site now. So this will be permanent. The recent link will be changing, right, as per user. Okay. So you can see now a person can actually browse here to the holiday list. He can browse to my page. He can browse to my subsite, right? So when I go into HR, I don't see that holiday list. But when I go to home, I see that holiday list because I have added the holidays to the main site collection. Remember, this holidays when I added, this list when I added to the main site collection. So that's why in accounts and HR, you won't see the holiday list, right? Now, one of the things probably which is coming into your mind is that, can we go and customize this look and feel? We are seeing a lot of menus over here. Remember that at this moment, I am logged in as an admin. So because I'm logged in as an admin, you can see over here Office 365, you can see over here all these site settings, you can see this edit menus because I'm an admin, right? But later on I will show you that when I log in as a simple user, all of these menus will go off. Okay, so don't worry on that. So in case that thing is roaming in your minds, thinking that, why I'm seeing this Office 365, why I'm seeing these sites over here and why I'm seeing all these edits, because I'm admin, right? Good. Now I would like to go and in the HR section, I would like to create a small section, wherein the HR can go and upload company policy documents. Okay, so the HR department can go into a specific section and upload company specific documents. So that means that on the HR level, I need to add a content type which helps me to upload documents, right? So let us again go back to site content. Remember, every time a site needs a content, right, you have to click on settings and click on site contents. So let us click on site contents, and over here let us go and add an app. Remember, everything is an app in SharePoint. The app means a functionality, right? So I'm going to go and add an app. So if you remember, already previously also we added an app which was a list, but at this moment you are saying that you want to upload documents, so it has to be a document library, right? So you can see that there are so many different content types, and depending on your needs you can pick them up. So I'm going to go and say that I want to add a document library into the HR subsite. Okay, this company policy documents should only be seen in the HR subsite and not on the main site. Okay, so over here I will say company policies plural, create. So you can see that the company policies document library has been added. So let us go here. So over here, let us copy this document library and let us create a link. Okay, so again I'm going to go and edit links over here. I will delete these recent ones, not needed. Let me add a link for company policies. So company policies. It's okay, and save it. Great. Now you can see that I have a document library here, which is for company policies. If you see this document library, it is same like the list. So in other words, it has rows and columns, but it has a facility to upload documents, right? So let me go and also edit this list over here, because this is, if you see this list at this moment, I need that modified date, etc., but I also need some more things over here, right? So let us go and modify this view. I would like to go and add some more fields over here. For example, one is that yes, we have the name of the document. The second one is a small description here saying that what we want to do, right? So what I will do is, one is that I have type, name, modified by. Okay, these are all okay. Let me also have a description, right? Let us see. Let us have a title as well. Okay, let us have a title as well, and I will save it. We will come to this thing over here, what you're seeing, where you're seeing a lot of fields. At this point, what I've done is I've just selected the title, right? So I have a title as well, where I can go and add some kind of a description. So now I can go and say, okay, let us say I upload a document. I can go and upload a document. Right. So I can go and choose a file. Now I can do it from here, or I can go and say add a new, right? Add a new Word document. So I can even go and add a Word document right away here. You can see that. One is I can upload an existing document, the one which you have seen now, or I can go and add a new document, and it will actually open up the Word online, and I can go and type my company policies and save it. So say, okay, this is my company policy, whatever, right? and I will go and save this. So, document saving, right? Save this as policy 1, right? Good. So now let us go back to our HR site. Let us see that if this document is seen inside the document library. So there I'm done. Let me go back to my HR subsite. So basically a list is just textual. It is just text data with rows and columns. A document library has a document, right? And you can see that there is policy 1, a document, and it also has some fields which describes the document, right? So you can see that I have the policy document over here, right? Good. Right, so basically now you can see what I have here. So I have my home site collection, right? My home page or my main site collection, that is my company. Inside that I have HR and accounts. In my company I have holiday list, and in the HR I have the policy document list, right? So if you try to visualize, what we have done till now, right? We first created the main site collection, that is my company. Inside this my company, we created 2 subsites, HR and accounts. In the my company, we added a content type. Look at the word what I'm using. We added a content type, page content type, that is about us. So in the main site collection, my company, we added a about us page content, right? In that we also added a list, which is a holidays list. So again we added one more content type, that is the holiday list. In the HR subsite, we added again a content type, which is a document library for the policies. So if you really see, what we are doing is we have created hierarchies of sites, and into these sites or site collections, we are actually going and adding content type of a page, we are adding content type of a list, we are adding content type of a document library, right? So basically at this moment, if you see the structure, we have the site collection, then we have HR and home as the subsites. Inside the HR, I have company policies, document library content. In the main page, I have about us content, and also I have a holiday list content. So everything is sites and contents in SharePoint. And later on, all these sites and contents are displayed using this master page. So if you see at this moment, what you're seeing over here, when I go, for example, when I go to my home, right? So in my home, what I have 2 subsites, and I have a page, and also I have a holiday list, right? So all this thing is gathered together by using this master page. A master page, you can think about, is nothing but it is a common structure given by SharePoint. Like example, you can see there is a left menu, there is a top menu, there is a section, where the content will be displayed. So this structure here, this common structure, is called as a master page. So basically all your site and contents are visible or are displayed to you because of this master page. If this master page was not existing, then it would have been very difficult to display the data, right? So great, that brings us to the end of this lab 1, which is almost a 1-hour video. And in this video, we talked about site collections, we talked about subsites, we talked about content types like list, document library, pages. We saw how to use the admin panel and so on, right? Now the next video is on security. So it is on rights and roles. So at this moment, if you see, I have just one user, that is admin, and he can go to HR, he can go to accounts, he can see everything, right? But now let us go and create separate user for HR, separate user for accounts, and let us see that how we can give them appropriate rights. So that is the next lab 2, where we will learn how to give rights and roles to a user. So we are almost done with 1 hour of the video, and we have more 7 hours pending. And please note that this is a developer track. So do not think that this is an end user training or this is an admin training, but this is a developer track. So the first 1 or 2 hours, I will talk about navigations. I will show you how to add things and etc. But after that, I will jump into MVC. I will try to integrate into SharePoint and so on, right? So please note that this is a developer track. And second is that I would like to also give you some gift, because almost this is 50 minutes of the video you have seen with me, right? And I understand that it is very difficult to sit at one place and watch the full video, right, of 50 minutes. It is not a movie, isn't it? So as a token of gift, I would like to give you this SharePoint notes, what I am creating here. The SharePoint notes, as I record the videos, I'm going to go and update the SharePoint notes. So the SharePoint notes, will have a simple note saying what, simple textual notes, which you can take and you can revise SharePoint as quickly as possible, right? So in case you want the SharePoint notes, what I would suggest is please go and share this video link, into your LinkedIn, into your Facebook, into your Twitter, right? So go to one of your social media network and please go and share this video in public and send us a mail at questpond@questpond.com, and we will give you this ebook, which has the SharePoint notes, which will help you to quickly revise SharePoint, right? So great. So we have completed 1 hour of the video, and in the next 7 hours, we will go and try to learn SharePoint developer track. Thank you. So next video, user and rights. Thank you very much.